Hey everybody, I know it's been a minute or two since I've done a video. I hadn't really had a whole lot to say. I don't really have a whole lot to say today, but I thought I would do one. It's actually a nice day and I'm not in the middle of working on something at work, and me and the dog are out wandering around the backyard, and I got a wild hair to decide to maybe do a little video. Hasn't been a whole lot going on. It's just been, keeping on with the carnivore, and not a whole lot. I did have some blood work done end of last year, and they finally found the paperwork a couple weeks ago. And everything's trending in a good direction, as of then. I haven't got anything new yet. It's on the plan to happen hopefully before the end of this month. Depending on how things go, whether that actually happens or not, but that's the plan right now. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I feel good. My weight's pretty much stable right now at 300 pounds, which means when you actually look at the last recorded highest weight I had was 525 pounds. So prior to contrary belief or whatever I might have said before, I actually had written it down at some point. I actually found it at work. One of the scales at work is what I ended up having to use, and I was 525 at that point. That was probably 3-4 months before I started on the carnivore diet, and then by the time I got the scale that could weigh me, I was already down into the mid 400s. So as of right now, I'm 225 pounds down. Want to be 250. That's kind of where I would be more comfortable. 250 on the scale. One thing I did notice, and there's a lot of controversy about this, and I really don't care about the controversy. I know for myself when I look at, because I have a smart scale. What the smart scale says is, I may have only lost 220 some pounds of actual weight, but when you look at the gains in muscle and the gains in bone over that time, the actual fat loss has been closer to 250 pounds. So that's what I use as a number when someone asks me. I say 250 pounds of fat that I've lost. I'm going to be going to low carb for better health this year. Again, I'll be going to that, and I've also got planned tickets and a hotel room and everything to go to Hack Your Health this year. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that by that point I'll be down to the 250 that I want to be on the scale. We'll see if that actually happens or not, but that's my goal. I've started picking up a little bit extra exercise here and there. Me and the dog are going walking a little more, that kind of thing. So hopefully some things will happen. I do know that I've got a lot more muscle than I did have, but my middle is still hanging out. I'm wearing size 44 pants. I was 62. I don't have them out here with me right now, but I'll bring them with me to the meetups and to the different get-togethers later this year, like low carb and Hack Your Health. I'll be bringing my 62 pants. It's kind of a stark testament of the changes that can happen when you adopt a proper human diet. It's amazing. So I'm wearing size 44 pants right now, and they're very comfortable, but I still have my barrel chest, I still have my belly. I had those things when I was in grade school and high school, so they may never go away. That may just be the part of my makeup, but we'll see. In the end, it's like we always say, if you're comfortable and you're happy and you have the energy you want and you're able to do the things you want to do, what more can you really ask for, And I can mow lawn, I can do anything I need to do at this point. Work in the pond, work around the house, work on my car. It doesn't seem to have any problems with anything that I want to do. I've been having a lot of projects, crazy deadlines that I make for myself at work, and I'm able to go 24 hours, sometimes even more, straight with no sleep and still function perfectly fine. So those are all the things that I kind of lost. You know, COVID took all that from me, and carnivore's given it all back. So I'm not going to complain too much about any of that. That's really all I got going on. There's some things that I want to talk about, but I'm going to save them for another video on another day. I have a list of things that I want to talk about, stuff that I'm seeing going on in the world, and stuff that I'm seeing going on in the carnivore space and in the general health space, and you know, proper human diet and those types of things. Carnivore and a proper way of eating is becoming more and more popular, and as it is, more and more of the gurus are coming out of the woodwork looking for their clicks, and they're making their 15 cents on a click type stuff, you know, rather than trying to worry about other people's health. All they're worrying about is their bottom line. So I'll stick with the Dr. Berries and the Dr. Westmans and the Dr. Ovadias and those guys, and Hampton and all the rest that aren't worried about clicks. They're just worried about health. And you can keep your Lane and your Saladino and all those guys, you know, that are just in it for the clicks. But more on that later. That was it. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. You know, anybody that's still hanging around, I think I have like 70 subscribers, which I'm very grateful for. It's kind of neat to see that there are people that are kind of interested in what I have to say and what I have going on. But other than that, it's just, you know, we don't go Chinese anymore, so I don't have that. We still do chicken wings. Mostly I just, you know, chuck steak and ribeye and hamburger and eggs, bacon, that kind of stuff. You know, pretty much that's it. You know, have found some pretty clean hot dogs. Every once in a while we have some hot dogs on the air fryer grill, and every once in a while I get a wild hair and I eat a bunch of cheese, and then I pay for it for a couple of days. So what are you going to do, you know? I did find a cute way, if you're doing cheese and it's not bothering you, pork rinds make a great nacho chip replacement. So you can make a plate of nachos with pork rinds, some hamburger, and some cheese, and, you know, make a big old meal out of it. You got something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, and, you know, definitely not something you want to do every day, but as a once in a while kind of a thing, I think you can keep your card. So well, that's about it. I don't have anything else going on, and nothing much I really wanted to say today. So thanks for listening, and hope to see y'all soon at some meetup or at some low carb, you know, get together somewhere. Otherwise, have a great evening.